really, it's a whole community that brings money to this college, and we're grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our last item.
Used to have somebody pull up. I used to know how to do that. Good evening, Chair Siegel and members of the board, and I'm so happy to say President Grissom. Thank you very much for doing that. I gave you the most current enrollment update, and I wanted to say it doesn't look that great, but it's not really that bad. We're down 5 students, but we still have close to 300 dual credit students to register. So we're going to be just fine.
Flat, probably.
No, we're going to be up.
We're actually going to.
And then we also have the short courses that start at the mid. Yeah, so we are going to be fine. And last time we talked about looking at some of the other institutions and seeing where, well,
Yes.
it's not looking so good for most of them. And I don't know if I should be laughing about that. That's not really. I would say, and both Yash prepared this, and Barbara went out and talked to her contacts, and I went out and talked to my contacts. So we have probably the only one that's really doing well is UNM Los Alamos, and it looks like they have a 12% head count change. And but then on the other hand, Northern New Mexico College is down 20%. And most of the other community colleges, like CNM is down about 7%, San Juan is down about 9%, Mesa Lands Community College is 3%, Taos is 1%, and this is head count, we're not, and Gallup is down 10% to 11%. Doñana is 4.5%. Oh, and I talked with my predecessor at NMSU, and they're down almost 6%. But she said that they are up in first-year students. So her area, which is enrollment management and recruitment, they're doing their job, but the students are leaving. Yes, retention is the problem. So that goes to the colleges. So that's.
I was just in Las Cruces when Gary Carruthers, president of Mexico State, presented to an interim committee and said they had to cut $8 million from.
Yes, that's what, and I said, well, that's a little bit more than us, but
Of course, they have a huge
they have a little bit
budget.
more than we do
Yes.
to begin with.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to say that these numbers are not official. I
Right.
mean, they didn't come from HED. We just gathered the information, so.
Okay, well,
And I think Yash wants to,
No, that's exactly you said.
oh, okay.
It's perfect.
Any questions?
Thank you. And thanks for gathering from others.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, please give Senator Nava our
Now, that
regards.
I don't know if
She
she may
left
be
already.
gone already, I don't know.
Sorry.
That should mean more money for us, right? If everybody's down and we're up.
Madam Chair, it should in the long run. And actually, when you look at the preliminary data that was compiled by the Funding Formula Committee, looking at last year's data, there were really only, if I remember correctly, 5 schools that grew in all the categories overall, and we were by far the most. So we anticipate that in next year's appropriation, we should benefit the most in terms of that one-time increase from the formula funding for performance-based funding.
But that does not go into the base.
It does not go in the base, but it would
But
be
it'll help
cash.
us. Yeah, right, yes. Please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, Board Member Romero, Mr. President. At the last board meeting, you asked about the enrollment withdrawal report, which is actually attached to this particular report. Just to explain the process, whenever there's a student who withdraws completely, financial aid and the registrar's office do run a report, and that's now currently being shared with the other people from the Welcome Advisement Center now. So I believe it's included in your board packet, and if you have any questions, I'll also be happy to talk about that.
Thank you. All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Okay, first reading, nothing. Any board reports or discussion? No, good. Next board meeting, October 21st. Work session at 3? Okay. And now we need a motion to go into closed session for this laundry list of things.
We gotta read it.
We have to read it, and you have
Madam
to
Chair.
write it all down. Yes.
I'm going to test my eyes and look up there. I move that we go into closed session for purposes of discussion of pending or threatened litigation pursuant to 10-19-1H7 NMSA 1978, employment claims involving administrative claimants or claims related to restructuring, threatened or pending claims related to AG determination, claim threatened by former students, and issues in case number D-101CV 2013-03032, and limited personnel matters pursuant to 10-15-1-H2 NMSA 1978, issues with reassignments, restructuring, and internal investigation into alleged improper behavior by an individual employee.
Hooray, you did it.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're into executive closed session.